The film begins with Dalton as he emerges on a wooden ladder. One step breaks and he falls. He leaned on the ground and started hearing strange sounds. He is next to him and starts screaming, so they hear him, Josh and Raina. They ride to him and meet him on the ground, and our carriage, George, lies down, and Dalton sleeps and keeps listening to her strange sounds. Second day in the army. The surveillance followed the sound of someone saying, "I want to." Immediately at the same time, you hear the voice of an uncle. She cries, then runs into the room, follows her, and spins around. There, but you don't find anyone. And then you go, my dress room, which asks her to sleep in a room away from Dalton because he keeps walking. At night, he is afraid of him, so Renee is surprised. She goes to her husband's house and says he is doing strange things. She gets home and it's already started. As soon as you enter the house, you find that he has disappeared. And when Atar appears in the second, you find a ghost again. He was running around in Dalton's room. So you follow him and meet his leg coming out of the closet. As soon as you approach him, he suddenly opens the closet door. He was laughing and started running. Then Josh came back at home and tell Al-Rina that the work is done. The stranger who was with her at home. The old one also happens to them and tells about the ghost. What she saw when Lauren became his mother to Josh. You're sitting with him and telling them that his wife's words are true. She tells him that she had a dream here and went to his room, men standing next to him. When I asked him, she tells him that until now the sound has followed him with his ear. She imitates him and finds the same scary men. I stand behind Josh, and she screams and gets up immediately, and they walk away. They hear the sound of screaming in Dalton's room, so they concentrate. I found the whole room broken and broken. Their mother was lying on the ground, and she said, to them he is in, one person can help him, and the woman comes to them. A spiritual person named Anas and the team that followed her at the house. You wander around and ask someone. Stephen gives her the sketchbook, and then she misses it. In Dalton's room, she tells him that she is not afraid. Your father and mother are here, and you will see me. The ceiling, and asks Stephen to draw what happened. You say that, so Renab feels afraid and leaves. She takes the sketchbook from Stephen's hand and finds him. He draws a picture of a demon, so she turns on the light immediately and comes out at the ceiling, but you can't find anything. Then you tell them that on the ladder, there is no reason for the state he is in like this. What the medical diagnosis and the old house say, or the new one, has nothing to do with strange events. What is happening to them? And the reason is their son. And you tell them that the materialist is here, but go. She is in another place and tells them about the projection. Al-Najmi tells them that these are married people and they can't keep away material security. They go anywhere else, and there is still one person, one of them, and that he has been doing this thing for a long time because he thinks it's a dream, but this time it's far away, so much so that he became lost in a place called Al-Aqsa. It is a completely dark place, and there are spirits living in it, the dead, and will not be missed. Spirits can easily reside in his physical body because he has had a period of time away from his body. For this reason, they began to gather around their bodies to return, to live again, and prove this story. These are the strange things that happen. They see it. There are also evil spirits. Like the one I draw, Satan needs a body to terrorize people, she says. To them, he is very close after. He looks at her and finds a drawing of a ghost on her, and he pays attention. The rest of the drawings are very strange, and I find them. The sentences written on the drawing say, "Tonight I saw myself while I was asleep. Then I flew. Will you come back for a long time? Will you not come to them again? We won't be able to help them and tell them that she will be clear. Conviction is on her face, and Stephen puts headphones on. His permission, and he will translate what you are saying. Where are you going to move it? Help me? And it is him. He doesn't see anything, and he won't be able to talk much because there are men in front of him, and what happens is fire, and lo and behold, his hearing will hurt him. Then the ghosts will tell Alice. They know it and will not leave it. It shakes, and you start screaming. And suddenly they meet Delta standing next to them. He hits the table in front of them with his hand. They all fell to the ground and kept attacking them, him and the ghosts around him. But I can't hold on Dalton from his hair and tell them quickly. And as soon as possible, they turn on the lights and find Dalton on the ground. I am still in the same breath. And after the situation calms down, you will come. Lauren tells them the reason she knows about a pastor I asked her to work for a long time to help Josh. When he was 8 years old, he had nightmares. Terrifying, and he was afraid of an old woman coming to him at night. She did not believe it until she saw it by herself and watching pictures of him, his son, and the woman. The old woman was looking at him with all the pictures and everything. She was getting closer to him and telling them she said she was the one who helped her. So she tells him, it's normal that you are a king. Only remembers this thing that proves their wisdom. It's him, until now. I'm afraid to imagine that he's her instead. Lauren advised that she hide pictures from him and stop. Picture him after this so he can forget and say, they told him that the woman in the picture was a parasite. She saw his soul flying, so she took it to Al-Aqsa just like that. It happened, and you told him that you are the only one who can go. She answers him and reminds him that there is no time on the sofa in front of you. Isn't the one who stopped remembering that you are from the world, going on a mission and coming back again. The second time you tell him that don't let anyone pay attention to you, because if they knew you, not one of them will come. They live in your physical body later. She asks him to close his eyes and take a deep breath. Focus on the sound until you start saying words to it, to repeat it, and it actually comes out. On a completely dark road, he meets a ghost with a ray of light. The house he is in, men, the light is close to them, but none of them. He doesn't move or say anything, so he leaves and goes into his room. The second time, he finds a girl sitting and asks her where she takes care. But suddenly, the girl disappears and he starts listening. The sound of gunfire comes back to the next three. I saw them at first and found that it was the girl who had disappeared. I killed them, so Josh gets scared and runs and comes out the stairs, and I found a red door like the one I painted. Dalton followed him with the drawing, making sure he was inside. He approaches, and the door guard comes out and stays. They get beaten, and Alice tries to encourage him and tell him, you are stronger than him, Josh, because you are alive, and you are asking him. He rises, he gets rid of him, and after he is able to overcome him, he misses and finds Dalton sitting and crying, so he runs. They hug each other, and I tell them we will get out of here. And I try to guide him